Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Adoptions from the Heart TV. I am really excited to welcome back Chris and Adrienne. Their daughter placed her daughter for adoption 6 years ago, almost 7 years, and we're excited to just check in and see how things are going years later. So, welcome, Chris and Adrienne.
Hello.
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Hello.
Do you guys want to first just briefly give an overview, just to tell folks that if they are interested in seeing more about Chris and Adrienne, they previously did do an interview for us that they go a little more in depth about their situation. But if you guys just want to give a brief overview of just what happened, the decision your daughter made, and just the role you played in all of that back 6 years ago.
Ours are probably a little bit different than most. Sam our daughter didn't realize that she was pregnant
Until labor.
until labor that night, and so none of us were prepared. We didn't have any plan in place. So thankfully,
The social worker at the hospital had mentioned a few adoption agencies, and I had heard about Adoptions from the Heart over the radio. So that's how we got your name, and Amanda came to the hospital, and it was great. The experience, talking to Amanda really calmed Samantha down and me down and Chris down. And, for as hard of a situation as it was, everyone at Adoptions from the Heart made it easier to get through and to manage and know what to expect and everything.
What role did you play in that moment? Meaning, like, you were clearly there, you were with your daughter. She had just found out she was pregnant and in active labor. She gave birth. I mean, she's going through all the physical stuff, the emotional stuff. What perspective did you have, and what did you try to do in that moment for your daughter?
just stand behind her.
Keep her calm
Be parents. The three of us, Sam was living at home. She didn't know what to do, nor did we. Just everything was such a shock. But, we really talked through, as a family, and with your help and guidance, again, with her not being prepared and our health issues, we didn't think it was fair really for the baby to,
suffer.
Just wanted her to find a good home. And through your help, think we found a great home for her. Miss her like heck, but
We can have a good day knowing that she's thriving like she is. And, we have a wonderful relationship. And I mean, we miss her like Chris said, but seeing pictures of her and
she's being taken care of.
Yeah.
What type of relationship do you guys have today? What does it look like in terms of, do you visit with them? Do you have direct contact? Share with our community, like, what openness looks like for your situation.
We personally, we get to see her occasionally. They don't live close anymore, which is unfortunate, but good for her because they're in Hawaii. So she gets to do all the things we wish we could. Seeing her, through pictures, Zoom. We did meet up this past summer here in town. They have family not too far from us. So, we do get to see her, not of course, as often as we would like, but cherish, every time we can see her, whether it be video or pictures or just an email, how they're doing as a family too. It's really become more than just, our granddaughter. She's got a sister and,
Her parent.
So it really, I can't really speak for everybody, but our outcome has been
very positive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys get regular updates through pictures and letters.
Yes.
You have direct contact, right? Do you email?
Yes.
Well, we don't. Samantha stays in contact with them. So it's through, her email and theirs. We'd like to. I don't know how that works or how we ask her, at what point. Not really sure. Of course, it'd be great just to pick up the phone and be able to talk to her, but I don't know how, or when is the right time to ask for something like that. And I know Sam would love to too, but not really sure how all that works yet.
Yeah, and sometimes it just takes time. But I do think you guys are 6-7 years in, and that's a conversation that maybe families can come back to the agency and you and I can kind of talk, and Samantha,
Okay.
we can about that if she is maybe looking for the next step, we could always reach out to the family as an agency
Okay.
and see how they're feeling about it and what
Right.
their
Yeah.
comfort level is.
Yeah.
And you never know, maybe they are comfortable, maybe they're not, maybe they feel good about how things are going, but we can always ask just to see where they're
Yeah.
at. Because,
Yeah.
we are seeing more and more with open adoptions, a lot of direct contact via email, text, or phone, when it wasn't that way years ago.
Yeah.
But I
Sure.
think openness has really grown to something more.
Mm-hmm.
And just nowadays, people are always on their phones, and texting is like a
That's
very
right.
common
Yeah.
thing, with boundaries, of course.
Of course.
And
And
that-
I can understand in the beginning having those boundaries set until you kind of find the right rhythm of your relationship.
And yeah, they are raising her, so it's
They are
I
parents.
I don't think we want to feel like we're intruding or like we're gonna,
Take her away.
well, nothing like that.
Sure.
But just don't want to overstep our boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like the commitment and promises that the family made 6 years ago still holds true? Like, do you still feel good about their commitment to maintaining a relationship with you? Because I know oftentimes that's a fear for birth families, is like, what happens years later? Are they going to actually still come to visits and answer my emails and send pictures and letters?
Right now, it's a little bit harder. We don't get as many emails or pictures as we were in the beginning, only because of where they're living now. And like the Skype, they would do it a lot more because they were only like an hour or two time difference. Now with them being in Hawaii, it's kind of hard to set that up. But they do still email and have pictures. It's just not as it's harder.
Not as frequent.
With the time change and with the, of course,
And
they're busy in school and activities and stuff. She's very aware of who we are and talks about it. And
they have our pictures up, and she definitely knows exactly who we are. And I think she had commented about being in her belly.
Yeah, and you're my mommy. You're talking to her mom, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah, and I know Samantha is always really good about sending presents. She's always dropping presents off at the office, and we mail that off to Hawaii for.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to see that there's still that exchange happening.
Yes.
So I guess I have a kind of a specific question for you, because I know when I'm counseling birth parents, when their parents are involved, which is great, I always think it's wonderful to have a village of support. Sometimes birth grandparents, which is what you guys are kind of called in the adoption,
Yes, sure,
can struggle with like putting their opinion of what should happen on their child. And I know for you guys as an outsider, you were very much about whatever Samantha wanted, you were going to support. Sure. What advice would you give to birth grandparents who are in that moment of like, that's my child, I want to safeguard them? What advice would you give to them?
Really, as we did, stand behind your child. It really does need to be their choice. It wasn't, us forcing her into this. In our case, it really was a group effort, decision. That may not always be the case, but we would have done whatever we had to. But again, with health issues, with
my end,
we talked about all that. I mean, it was quick talk because everything processed so quickly.
But I think being open and talking with your child and being there for them, but you kind of have to almost take like not a hands-off approach, but you have to support them without being overbearing and putting too much of your input,
Yeah, I mean, we talk, amongst friends. We are grandparents. I mean, we do have a granddaughter. There's no denying that. It can be a little bit of an odd
situation.
Conversation, and sometimes we don't go into all that. If just somebody says, do you have any grandkids? And unfortunately, not all families work well together, and it's a difficult time. I mean, I don't think it's an easy decision for anybody, but I still think, you got to think about the child, their future, how that's going to work out.
But I got to interrupt a minute. I got to say that's where you guys have been such a big help. Even though you may not have had a support group for birth parents, I think it helped me see what you had offered for the birth moms. And that helped me to know that you were there for her. The support groups and all those kind of opportunities helped me. Then I think, well, geez, it would be nice if maybe the birth grandparents had something. But it made me feel at ease what you guys had offered for the birth moms.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, we run a monthly virtual birth parent support group for women and men who can come together and share their experiences of having placed a child for adoption. If you're considering placing and you want to join that group, that's also an option. It's really funny that you mentioned that, Adrienne, because literally just today I was counseling with a birth grandmother. They're at the start of potential placement, and we were kind of going through the motions. It was a very similar situation actually as yours, of kind of what happened. And I was just thinking how it would be so great to create some sort of group, because now I've seen more and more birth grandparents and extended family coming forward and participating in adoption planning. So maybe that is something that we could try to start, is bring birth grandparents together to facilitate, community and a space where you guys can share your thoughts and feelings even years later of what it's like to be a birth grandparent. It is unique. You are a grandparent, but it's a unique situation.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the things we were talking about today is just the idea of not looking at this as a failure as a parent, but actually being proud of your child for making a good decision, something that they had not planned for.
That's right.
It's a very quick, unexpected situation, but being able to say, I want better for my child, and I know that this is in the best interest of my child. To me, as a parent, knowing that your child is making good decisions for their child, that's something you should feel really good about and embrace and not feel badly about.
That's right.
Sure, and we do.
I think initially in the beginning, I wanted to protect Samantha and bring, the baby in, but Chris really helped me to realize health-wise, for both Samantha and I, we've got to do the right thing by the baby, and we sat down and we talked, and all of us had to kind of really put our own selfishness aside and really look out for what's best for her daughter. And now, years later, because of the genuine love and seeing how well she's doing, we just know that it was
the right decision.
Definitely the right thing. So, I mean, we're lucky enough to see how good of a situation it turned out to be.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't think we're going to sit here and say that it's all sunshine and rainbows, right? There's ups and downs, and placing a child for adoption for birth parent and extended birth family can be hard.
Yes.
And I'm sure you go through the emotions every day.
Sure.
Moments of feeling sad, because it is a loss that you're facing, and you don't get to see her every day, and it's not exactly what parenting or grandparenting looks like.
Right.
But I hear you in what you're saying, that you did that and you continue to do that because it's what you know is in the best interest of your granddaughter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And knowing that you have that openness and seeing her thrive and seeing her happy, and she's in Hawaii living her best life.
I know.
That's something to be really proud of, because at the end of the day, you all gave her that. You gave her that life. You gave her that opportunity. And that's something that as she grows up and really understands, our hope is that she will appreciate that, and she'll be able to thank you for that and know that you're in her life because you care and love about her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Anything else, years later, the perspective you have, having been a part of this journey for the last almost 7 years, anything you'd like our community to know?
I think you have to reach out, like you said, about other birth grandparents and possibly starting. I think that is a positive step. I think that would help. Because in the beginning, I always wanted to talk to Samantha about it. And at times it was really hard because I was kind of being selfish and, how's she doing? And, and what's going on? And, Chris would kind of have to bring me back down to earth and say, you kind of have to give her space. And so I kind of was being motherly and, concerned and wanting to know. And then finally I kind of found my own rhythm. So you kind of sometimes, as much as you want to step in, you kind of have to take a deep breath and learn to, pull back. And that's hard, but I think that's where a support group would definitely help, where you can vent to other, grandparents, and you can talk about them. And
don't be ashamed of it. I mean, it's not something to be ashamed of. Does everybody agree? My best friend, he wasn't sure how to take the whole thing at first. He didn't really think, adoption was the best idea, but he's grown to accept it, realize, it was the right decision. I think I don't know, I say we're very fortunate. It's difficult picking out families that your grandchild is going to live with, just so quick. You guys, interview all these people, and I just feel, very lucky that you were there, giving us the right information at the time, and it was a big help.
Yeah. I always say this is not an easy process. There's a lot of layers involved with adoption, and I think that you want to make sure you have a good team around you supporting you, not just before or during, but after.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even years later, knowing that you have the supportive services in place, whether it's a support group or reaching out to, a social worker just to kind of talk through what you're going through. I think that's really valuable for you to be able to go through the grieving process that is an ongoing thing when you make the choice for adoption. And I really appreciate what you said, Adrienne, of the way you handled it at times may have been different than the way your daughter was handling it, and you learned to kind of step back and realize that maybe you were on a little bit different of a journey, and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
You were able to give her space, and your husband encouraged you to let her do it her way, and you do it your way, and as a family, that's working for you.
Yes.
Yep.
So I think that that's really a powerful statement. And my hope is that people who are listening to this, if you do have a child who's making the choice to place for adoption, or, an extended family member of any kind, allow that space for them to figure out what's right for them. Because I think everybody handles this in a different way.
That's right.
People come to me all the time with like, well, what do I do? How do, there's no one way of going through this. I can share with you people's experiences, right? But everybody has their own personality, and that helps determine how you're going to handle this. And it's up and it's down. It's up and it's down. And when you're down, you will not be down the whole time. You will eventually come back up. So you just have to stay optimistic. But at the end of the day, if you know that your child or your grandchild is living their best life and you gave them that, that's what matters, or should.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we appreciate you. It's always nice to check in and see.
Same here.
I love hearing about you. I talk to Samantha every now and then, and I love to hear all that she's doing. And I'm hopeful that videos like this can help other birth grandparents that may be in a similar situation and just need to hear it from somebody who's lived it.
That's why we agreed to do this.
Yes.
It is important.
Great. And Adrienne, stay tuned, because now you got my mind thinking we should start another support group and maybe extended birth.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Tuning in. Please feel free to check out future episodes at Adoptions from the Heart TV.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey guys, if you are enjoying the content here at AFTH TV, please subscribe and hit the bell.